Hello my darlings. So I am heading out today. I have a few jobs I've got to do today, so I thought while I was out and about I would head to the little libraries. I do have to go to the library. I am returning a couple of books and I have a few books on hold, but there are a lot of little libraries around here. I'm hoping to do a video soon where I read only books from little libraries for a week, so I thought let's go find some books. So there's way more little libraries than there are books for me to pop in, but I'm hoping to pick up a couple in return. So the first one that I'm dropping off is After the Party, sorry about the lighting, After the Party by Lisa Jewell. Finished this one, wasn't that interested, ended up being a 2-star read, so I think someone else will probably enjoy it, especially if they've read the first one, because I didn't realise this was book 2. I am also dropping off I See You by Greg Hurwitz. This one was an okay read. I think it only cost me a couple of dollars, so it was alright. Picked it up secondhand, and unless you're in for a mystery thriller that also tells you in depth about LA, it was alright. It was alright, but I think someone else will enjoy this one. It's very hot, so please don't mind the hair. But also, I made the decision, I read this a couple of years ago, I've read it twice now, and I don't think I'll read it again. I have a couple of other books in the series that I will continue reading, but at this stage I really don't think that I will reread this series at any point, and that's The Bride Stripped Bare. This version is the anonymous version, but it is written by Nikki Kamel. I got this for $3 at the market, and yeah, I won't read it again, but someone else will enjoy it. So let's go check out some little libraries. First little library done. Wasn't a huge amount of books in there, unfortunately, but I did find Hanging Out: The Radical Power of Killing Time by Sheila Lemming. This looks interesting. It says it's a smart, funny manifesto about the simple art of hanging out and how our collective social experiences can be transformed into acts of resistance and solidarity from a brilliant young feminist critic. I am trying to read some more books on feminism, so good pick up. Let's go to the next little library. Stop number 2. I found 2 books from this one that sound really interesting. The first one is Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter. I have heard of this and I'm very intrigued. It says a missing girl, a hope never lost, a killer never found. 20 years ago, Claire's eldest sister Julia went missing. No one knew where she went, no note, no body. It was a mystery that was never solved, and it tore her family apart. Now another girl has disappeared with chilling echoes of the past, and it seems that she might not be the only one. Claire is convinced Julia's disappearance is linked. But when she begins to learn the truth about her sister, she is confronted with a shocking discovery, and nothing will ever be the same. So that sounds really good. I also found this one, which sounds really intriguing. The other one I picked up, it sounds really interesting. Right up my alley is Final Victim by Stephen J. Cannell. This one says, you are more beautiful than death. In the flickering realms of cyberspace, protected by an impenetrable electronic barrier, 2 killers exchange their darkest, sickest fantasies. One is a convicted murderer serving life in a high-security prison in Norway. The other is a vast physical freak from Florida, whose mastery of computer systems has given him unimaginable power. Power to kill whenever he chooses, to mutilate, desecrate, and destroy. There is more, but that just sounds amazing. So, awesome. 3 books so far at 2 stops. I have put in 1 book so far. So let's keep moving. This is fun. Number 3 is on a relatively busy street, and it's in front of a daycare, so I'm not sure if I'll have any luck with books. I have a feeling that it's mostly going to be kids' books, but that's okay. Let's go check it out. All right. That was actually relatively successful. I picked up 2 more books. So I picked this one up just for a laugh because I have heard many jokes about this book, but also I am intrigued to read it, and that is Surrounded by Idiots by Thomas Erikson. And then this one is a social media entrepreneur, Sophie Caccia. I used to follow her when she was married and when she was having her kids, but this book goes on to talk about her falling in love with a woman, and that is Then There Was Her by Sophie Caccia. So exciting. 3 little libraries and 5 books so far. Let's keep going. It's been a little while. I've done a few jobs, but I just hit the 4th little library and no success, but that's okay. We've got one more to look at. There are a few others around, but I think that that's probably going to be enough for today. 5 books is definitely enough to get me through the challenge that I want to do, but let's go check out one more. Right, last book, last little library. Let's do this. Righto, so 5 little libraries down and we've picked up one more book. So it's In Evil Hour by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. It sounds interesting. It's short, it's sweet, so looks like we've got some books for this challenge. Let's go. All right, it's a few days later, but we had a lot of success with our little library haul. So I'm going to go through them now and tell you a little bit about them. And in a video coming out very soon, I will be reading through all of them and giving you my thoughts. But let's start with, so we went to 5 little libraries and we came back with 6 books, which was pretty impressive. And we did unhaul 3. So look, it's not a great ratio. If I'm wanting to start reducing the amount of books within the house, but thankfully that's definitely not a priority this year, so we'll see what happens. I'm trying to also do as many library books as I possibly can, but anyway, so the reading vlog that will be coming out soon, I have every intention of reading In Evil Hour by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. This one is only 183 pages, so I think that I'll be able to get through this one pretty quickly. And it is about Cesar Montero, who was dreaming about elephants that he'd seen at the movies on Sunday, but only moments later, Cesar is led away by police as they clear the crowds away from the man he has just killed. Okay, but Cesar is not the only man to be riled by the rumors being spread in his Colombian hometown. Under the cover of darkness, someone creeps through the streets sticking malicious posters to walls and doors. Each night, the respectable townsfolk retire to their beds, fearful that they will be the subject of the following morning's lampoons. As paranoia seeps through the town and the delicate veil of tranquility begins to slip, can the perpetrator be uncovered before accusation and violence leave the inhabitants' sanity in tatters? Sounds pretty good. The next one that I picked up, and it's only because I have seen it around a lot before, and it kind of became a funny meme because he released so many of these books and it was like, maybe you're the problem. But anyway, that's the only reason I picked it up, because it's just so funny. But Surrounded by Idiots by Thomas Erikson. So I'm going to read this one as well, and it talks about the 4 types of human behavior, or how to understand those that cannot be understood. I'm hoping it will give me some pointers, because I'm currently on like a neurodivergence journey and realizing that, you know, there could be communication issues, and analyzing everything that's happened in my life. And anyway, it could be funny. It could be a fun read. I'm not sure, but we'll see. I also got, and funnily enough, this is an uncorrected proof from April 2023, which is pretty cool, but it is Hanging Out: The Radical Power of Killing Time by Sheila Liming. And it looks like a manifesto about social experiences, and it's written by a feminist critic. I'm intrigued because, yeah, I have to admit I struggle with social interactions, and I have for the last couple of years after lots of shit going down. So I'm hoping I'll grab a couple of tidbits out of this. And I also got Then There Was Her by Sophie Caccia. Sophie is a social media sort of entrepreneur, and I used to follow her on all her socials, and stopped. I think I created new social media accounts, and by that point I had sort of moved into another phase of my life. And it wasn't until later on that I discovered that she was now in a queer relationship. So I'm glad that I picked this up because I'm intrigued to find out what happened. And then I picked up Final Victim, Stephen J. Cannell. I have never heard of this before, but it sounded really cool. I did speak about it earlier, but it sounds like a great thriller, and hackers and all that fun stuff, so I'm really intrigued. And I've heard so many people talk about Karen Slaughter, so when I saw this one, Pretty Girls, I thought, all right, I'm taking this one. This one's coming home with me because I need some good thrillers in my life, and we'll see what happens. Anyway, so my plan is to read these all within a week. So I'm going to create a vlog for these where my plan is to only read these for a week. And if for some reason I do end up getting through all of these books before the end of the week, I have plenty of other options that I have picked up in previous little library hauls. But we will see. 5 books in a week, it does seem like a lot, but then it depends how much reading I'll actually manage to get done. But that will be coming in a new video very soon. Thank you so much for joining me for this journey. If you have watched the entire video, I appreciate you. Thank you for letting me have a part of your valuable time. I understand how important that is. So thank you so much. But until next time, have a really good day, and I'll see you in a new video very soon. Goodbye, my darlings.